Welcome to the 23rd Pod Play podcast. I'm Dred.
And I'm Gary.
And today we will talk about some events on Raw. And then we're going to talk about some events about NXT.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good? Alright. So, a bit of things happen on Raw, but we're going to focus mainly on one topic, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship. So, AJ Styles and Roman Reigns had a segment on Raw where they did their thing, they talked, and then as AJ Styles was walking away, the Bullet Club interfered and attacked Roman Reigns.
Well, before you say that, like AJ Styles was actually having a segment backstage, and he saw Carl Anderson and Doc.
Yeah. So earlier in the night.
Yeah, earlier in the night.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Hey, what's up? Those are my boys." And
planting the seed. So, all right. First thing I want to talk about is Roman Reigns. Now, what they're doing with him is so strange to me. It's like they're trying to make him the in-between guy for this, especially for this rivalry, because the WWE knows people are going to be behind Styles over Reigns. So I think that's why they're going with this kind of I'm not the good guy, I'm not the bad guy. But I think it's weird because it's like the in-betweener doesn't work if it's forced.
I truly don't like it because it's kind of boring, because that's all he says every single night that he comes out. Like, I understand people have gimmicks and they push it all day, like End Zone Cast. They say the same thing every single time they come out, but at least like they're funny with it and they're like people find it interesting. Yeah. I don't think people find his "I'm the guy" interesting. They're like, yeah, we know, we hear you say it every single night. We don't care if you're the guy.
Yeah,
we just don't want you to be the guy.
Yeah, when people don't have a reaction to it, and actually the reaction is boos, which is, I mean, that's not what they want, you know. Like they're to the point where it seems like they're to the point where they accept the fact that people are gonna boo him. It is what it is. People are gonna boo Roman Reigns, but at the same time, it's like, for a guy like Reigns, you have to choose a side. Either make him good and just accept the boos, or make him bad and see if they change. And honestly,
John Cena's a good guy. He accepts the boos.
Yeah, and honestly, if Roman Reigns goes heel, I'm not 100% convinced that the boos will change. I think people might still boo him. I don't think going heel is the problem. I don't think Roman Reigns being a face is the problem. The problem is the people want to see who they want to see, and Roman Reigns is not that guy yet.
I feel bad for Roman just for the simple fact that if this was 5 years earlier, 6 years earlier, he would be getting the cheers that he deserves. But he's in the
later, not earlier.
Well, he deserves right now. If he was back then.
Well, no,
you get what I'm saying?
John Cena gets boos.
John Cena gets boos, but
it's
I'm saying
it's the same concept. When WWE forces somebody on you, the crowd turns. The crowd doesn't want that.
No, but he would have been a great worker.
He is a great worker.
He is a great worker, but I'm saying he would be even better if he can get the cheers and stuff like that. Right now, I feel like he's stuck because they're getting so much talent and they're bringing so much talent in. We want to see people who like really deserve the title to be champions.
Yeah, people want guys like Zayn, Owens. Ambrose even. And honestly, I like Dean Ambrose, but I don't think he's much more deserving than Reigns is, per se. Because Ambrose's mic work is great, way better than Roman Reigns, but at the same time, like, as a wrestler, he kind of annoys me sometimes.
Do you not like
he's a little over dramatic, and his bounce off the rope move, it's annoying. It looks.
Do you like the bounce off the apron move?
Bounce off the apron is dumb too. Like, I don't. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Dean Ambrose in any way, but it's just like, I don't know. When you're forcing somebody on the WWE universe, they tend to reject them, and that's what happened with John Cena, and that's what's happening with Roman Reigns now. And we're gonna have a situation for a guy like Sami Zayn where it's gonna be like the Daniel Bryan effect, where the fans just won't give up. They're gonna find somebody, and maybe it's not even one person, because the fans are dying to see something with Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Fans are dying to see something with Kevin Owens. Fans are dying to see something with Cesaro.
Like I said, I feel bad for him because he's in an era where there are other great talents that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to get what Vince feels like he deserves or what he should have.
The worst thing they could do is, I know they have an issue with CM Punk. They already erased AJ Lee's record title reign, and I feel like that's the direction they're going with Reigns. I think they want him to break CM Punk's title reign, and that will be a huge mistake.
I feel like the only person that should break CM Punk's title reign would be like Seth Rollins.
Like, why Rollins over Reigns?
Because Seth has the crowd behind him, even when he was a good guy or when he was a bad guy.
Yeah,
the entire time he was a bad guy, but he still had the crowd behind him.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I feel like this might be the direction they're going in. And maybe Reigns, we might see Reigns being the champion for a very long time.
I hope not.
So, all right, back to this segment. And I feel like the discussion will keep focusing on Reigns and what they're doing with him, but back to the segment. So Reigns and Styles have their talk in the ring. Styles goes walking away, and then the Bullet Club comes in and attacks,
demolishes Reigns.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this? Because when Styles is walking away, he looked disappointed, and even in the backstage segment after, he's saying that this wasn't my idea. Like, I had nothing to do with it.
I enjoyed watching Reigns getting destroyed because they did a great job. Like, again, they came out full force. They looked good doing it, and they just made Reigns look like nothing.
Right.
I thought it was cool.
Owens.
I think Cesaro's gonna win.
Owens.
No. I liked what Gallows and Anderson did. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Are you asking me, do I think that they had any real involvement with it? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, what do you think is going to come of it?
I feel like they're going to try to get AJ to come with them. They're like, hey, we can run this place like we ran New Japan. And AJ's like, no, I need to show everyone. I need to show the guy that I can beat him without any help. And I feel like, hear me out on this one. Small theory. What if, to change his persona around...
oh my god!
Did he just catch him?
He just uppercut the hell out of Kevin Owens outside the ring. Oh my god.
And Owens came up and...
Alright, continue. What if what?
What if Reigns becomes the new leader of the Bulletproof or Bullet Club, whatever we want to call them?
See, alright. I knew you were going to talk about this. And when I was watching this stuff happen, I had the same exact thought. And I would absolutely hate it.
Would you hate the idea?
It would be even more forced than what Reigns is doing now. You have guys like Finn Balor, who once led the Bullet Club. You have guys like AJ Styles, who once led the Bullet Club. Why would you put Reigns with them? That makes no sense.
To give his character something.
This is what I mean with, like, sometimes you just have to accept the boos. They're gonna come in the same scenario as John Cena. At this point, just accept the fact that the crowd, for the most part, isn't behind Reigns. But if your goal is to push Reigns, push him. Use Bullet Club as heels. Have Reigns go against the Bullet Club. So I could see what I think might happen is, and we'll talk about this later in the show because there's other events that happen that might affect this. But I think we're going to see the Bullet Club in some way cost AJ Styles the match, but not necessarily to help Reigns, you know? I think it's more, we're going to see a AJ Styles versus Bullet Club rivalry, not necessarily a Reigns and Bullet Club versus Styles rivalry. I don't think Reigns really will have much to do with it, and I think there may be other people involved, and if you can't guess what I'm alluding to, we'll get to that in a few minutes. So I think we might see Styles versus Bullet Club. Now,
the original leader versus the
second
leader?
maybe not. We'll talk about that in literally like a minute. So to end this discussion, I don't think AJ Styles has any chance of taking the title, to be honest.
So you're saying at Payback, what is my prediction? I say Styles takes the title.
Well, we'll do a prediction show probably the week before Payback. Is it a week before Payback yet or no?
I think so. I think this coming up week is the Payback.
So next show we'll do a little Payback predictions, but yeah, I think we're
Let's get our ducks in a line before we do anything.
I think this is setting up a Styles Bullet Club rivalry. So anyway, NXT had a live event recently where Samoa Joe and Finn Balor ended up matching up in a title match.
Out.
It was a live event in... Oh, let's get down, please. Thank you.
Ooh, God.
It was a live event in Lowell, right?
Yes.
And Samoa Joe wins the NXT Championship.
That crowd went nuts. I don't know if you saw the video.
I did.
They went in. It was literally the most absolute shocking thing because...
It's not televised.
It's not. WWE... I want to say the title has switched hands at a live event 2 times ever in my life that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. One was this, and the second one was the tag team titles when Epico and Primo held them.
Yeah,
they lost them to the Usos in a live event.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
there's been times like back in the day, it's happened, but since television. Like prominence in wrestling, you don't see this hardly ever.
It's 99.9% chance that if it's a title match at a live event, the titles are not switching hands.
I can't move.
Oh, look at Cesaro winning, and look at me setting up that. Oh no, I'm on the ground. Why am I on the ground?
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, now I don't want to speculate too much on it, but I think this means that Finn Balor is getting called up, and I think we're either gonna see Finn Balor injected into the Bullet Club storyline, maybe as the leader of the Bullet Club, or maybe he may even team with Styles against the Bullet Club. And we keep calling them the Bullet Club. Gallows and Anderson, they're not calling them the Bullet Club. We keep calling them that. We need to stop. We need to stop calling it that. That's not their name here. They may have a similar name, but that's not their name. So I don't know. What's your prediction? What's your prediction on what might happen?
Okay, then if I say this happens, I would like to see, again, same scenario, Styles tells Anderson and Gallows, like, no, I don't need your help. I can do things on my own. And then they get upset at him. So they bring in Balor to help them demolish AJ. Like, yo, he said he was blood for life, kind of like a gang type of thing, where he's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, okay, he's part of our group and he doesn't want our group's help. Like, that's not how we roll. So then they take him out.
Okay, but we'll see. We'll see what's happening.
And the thing is, I kind of hope they do like take him out, and then we see Styles like off TV for a minute.
I don't want to see Styles off TV. He just got here.
No, I understand this, but you take him out, you hurt him, you let Bulletproof Balor Club, whatever they want to call it, roll a little bit, and then you get the Shockers return with AJ coming back in.
I think it'd be awesome if AJ, Balor, Gallows, and Anderson were a team. Like, all of them. Just destroy WWE.
I think that would be the new shield of it. Like, the aspect of not losing.
Let's not speculate too much. We think Balor's coming up, but again, you never know. He's probably not.
Again,
Bayley lost the title. She's still in NXT right now.
WWE has so many storylines that they can roll with. Literally, any of these can be an option.
Yep.
Anything could be an option.
All right, so we'll move on with the rumor mill. Do you have any rumors? First of all, do you have a theme song?
No, I don't. Damn.
Okay, good. All
okay,
right.
let's go.
We're starting off this segment
Gary Rumor Mill. Seth Rollins is expected to return at Money in the Bank. I'm not sure exactly the date.
We can just say summertime.
Summertime, and it has to do with Money in the Bank. Now, the storylines that they're going to roll with is one of two.
They might.
First one is him coming back with his title, saying, I never lost this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Him versus
Reigns,
part 2.
Right.
Or he can win back Money in the Bank. 2-time winner joins the likes of Edge CM Punk. Think those are the only two that won it twice.
I'm gonna throw in a loop for you.
You got a third scenario?
I got a third scenario.
What's
So Money in the Bank is approximately 2 pay-per-views away. Because we have Payback, we won't count that because that's about to happen. So it's approximately 2 pay-per-views away. So that's a good amount of time to get like a nice little chunk of story going.
Mm-hmm.
So what if AJ Styles was lying and he is behind Bullet Club and them 3 team up? Roman Reigns needs backup.
Are you saying he calls in his brothers?
Dean Ambrose comes in at, what's it, Extreme Rules?
Mm-hmm.
2v3? That's just not enough. So at Money in the Bank, they get a third. They get a third guy to help them out. His name is Seth Rollins. And it's Shield versus the Bullet Club. And then Finn Balor comes out and screws AJ Styles over, and then that storyline takes place.
And that's another bulletproof Balor Club.
But yeah,
Woo!
we're just throwing stuff out there. So.
I like this.
All right, next rumor.
Next rumor, not so much a rumor as more of a fact. Ryder will probably be bumped down to NXT.
Okay.
So he's gonna go back with the Hype Bros.
Mojo.
With Mojo, he would never get his rematch for his IC title.
It was just a WrestleMania moment, which is nice, but
He got his moment. I'll let the boy shine in his light.
I hope this doesn't affect Emma. I hope Emma stays up. Because I know
Yes,
she has a
'cause
feud with Becky Lynch right
Becky
now.
Lynch,
Right?
and I think they're gonna be feuding at
Emma-
Payback.
Emma is a great heel, and they need heel women.
They do, because you really don't have too many of them right now. Like Charlotte's the heel, Becky's the face, Paige can go both ways. Sasha can technically go both ways.
Sasha can be a great heel.
Sasha's a great heel.
They
We've seen that
should-
in NXT.
They should make her a heel, but yeah, okay. And that's all the rumors?
That's all the rumors I have today.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, we had an incident where we lost a member of the WWE universe, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So you take it away with this.
Chyna, better known as Chyna. And she... Sorry, my bad. I meant to say her first name.
Better known as China. Okay, continue.
We really don't speak about many deaths in the WWE because it happens and stuff like that. There have been actually some past wrestlers that have passed away, and we have not mentioned them, such as Balls Mahoney. He passed away recently as well. But when somebody like Chyna makes an impact in your life growing up as a fan, especially in the Attitude Era where we predominantly watched as fans, she was amazing to see. She was the 9th wonder of the world. Like, as a kid, I seen her, I was like, oh my god, she was just invincible as a woman that I saw. I thought, like, she used to go in the ring and just beat up men, and I'm like, oh my god, this woman's powerful. She was the first ever woman to win the Intercontinental title, and I believe she's held the Hardcore title a few times herself. She was one of the original founders of DX, where she was with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. She has a very long career, I would say, that she like a lot of achievements and accolades in her career that she has accomplished. She even had a great stint with Eddie Guerrero with Latino Heat and Mamacita. That was also awesome to see. It's sad to see someone so young pass away at the age of 47. So yeah, 47. That's sad.
She was 47?
47.
You sure?
Yep, 47, because Prince was 57.
Oh, okay.
Let's take away 10. But it was sad to see this. I have one thing to ask you. Hall of Fame?
See, I have an issue with this. She should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. And I know there's issues between her and people higher up in the WWE. And I feel like I don't want to come off as like rude in any way to Chyna's family or the WWE, but I feel like it would be kind of hypocritical to induct her now that she's
So you
dead.
would say wait?
Yeah. At this point, I would feel more comfortable waiting.
Well, it's kind of like after
I know, same thing with Macho.
when he passed, it took a while for him to get in as well.
Yeah, but that was
even though they did want him in.
That was a different scenario where Macho Man said no.
he said
Macho
no all
Man
these
kept
years.
saying no because he wanted his family in. But this is a different scenario where Chyna wanted to be in the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
Like she wanted to be noticed by the WWE. You know, like she was a legend. She is a legend. And I feel like if they're gonna deny her Hall of Fame after all these years, they let Jacqueline in, who's great, but Chyna should be in there before Jacqueline.
Mm-hmm.
Chyna should have been in there with Trish and Lita,
Mm-hmm.
and if not before them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna induct her now that she's passed away, I feel like that's hypocritical. And I
Do you feel like that's a slap in the face?
Does she belong in the WWE? Absolutely, she belonged in the WWE a long time ago.
She did put out a tweet a little bit before the WrestleMania this year, saying that she wants to give like all her fans at least one more thank you before like her time was up. Unfortunately, she didn't get to really do that in front of a live stage, in front of a live audience.
So, I say if it's okay, I guess, with her inner circle, if they're fine with it, sure. But I feel like it's kind of hypocritical, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, if the bridges weren't mended before this happened, I feel like it's kind of, it feels awkward, you know.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
But she could very, very easily be another 2-time Hall of Famer. And if they induct DX, she should be in the DX induction.
She should be mentioned.
She should be part of the DX induction.
Yeah. Like,
and
would you say she should be there before even X-Pac and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn?
Well, all of them together. That was DX.
Yeah.
DX was technically Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chyna.
That was original.
Yeah, but
until Shawn
DX was the best when they were all together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that little time that they were all together, that was the best DX, and I think that's what needs to get inducted.
Mm-hmm.
I think she belongs in the DX induction, and she absolutely belongs in her own induction. So, I hope she gets in eventually. If it's now, that's fine. But she should have been.
How would you feel if they don't induct her next year, but they induct DX next year?
And she's mentioned in
and
that?
she's mentioned in that.
I think that's more appropriate. I think that's more appropriate. And then in a few years, you induct her as herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. But all right.
Well, that's all we have for tonight.
Well, with that said, that's the 23rd episode. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
You guys have a good night.